Hi, my name is Tom Heyman. I want to give you some brief background information before you view the presentation video of Lisa's offer that I made for her. Lisa was being transferred from Chicago to our town. She was qualified to make an offer price of $290,000 up to a maximum of $290,000. She had a bridge loan, had plenty of cash. She flew into our town with her boyfriend on a Saturday morning on the 12th of the month. We went to several homes and then got to the home that after they viewed it said it was their dream home and they had to have it. It happened to be being held open by the listing agent. So I engaged the listing agent in a conversation. It was meant to be a comfortable conversational tone. It was not a grilling, but I asked her many questions and I got a lot of valuable information. And what I learned was that they already had an offer higher than what Lisa could go, and they had several other offers. And the most important thing to the seller was closing by the end of the month. This was the 12th of the month. The seller needed the proceeds from the sale of this home to close on her new home on the first day of the next month. So closing became the focal point. That's where the spotlight was placed as I made the presentation of Lisa's offer. You'll see in the presentation that we break it down into a format where we thank the listing agent up front. We try to make them look good in front of their clients. We confirm our understanding of the seller's needs so that if we got something wrong, later we might have a chance to make an amended offer. We then try to bring the buyer to life, to not just be a name on a piece of paper. Then we present the offer in three areas: the financials, the timing, and the ways in which the buyer is trying to reduce the risk for the seller of dealing with the buyer. Then it's important to cover the buyer's agent and his or her team, and to emphasize that, especially in this case, that nothing was going to fall through the cracks that would jeopardize the closing date. Please watch the presentation video. It does not have to be perfect when you send it, but having a structured format and emphasizing the risk reduction for the seller is something that the buyer's agent will likely do better than the listing agent. Hello, Janet and Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds. My name is Tom Heyman. I am the buyer's agent for Lisa Smith, and she is very excited about the opportunity to purchase your home. I would like to review with you the highlights of her offer over the next 5 minutes or so. First, I would like to thank Janet for her cooperation and professionalism during our interactions. I would like to thank Janet for sharing this video with you, Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds. And I would like to thank her also for the information and guidance she shared with us about your needs and wants so that Lisa could give the very best offer right up front. We understand that you want to close by the end of the month, which is a quicker close than normal, but I want to assure you right up front that Lisa will have no problem closing by the end of the month. We understand that you want to get the best value, the best price you can get, including the other terms. You want to be sure that you have a buyer who can close by the end of the month. And we're sure that you want to deal with a buyer who is doing everything that he or she can on her side of the table to reduce the risk of dealing with him or her on your side of the table. And we also understand that you want a buyer and a buyer's agent and their team who can manage all of the details to make sure that once the contract is signed, we will get to closing on time. I'd like to introduce Lisa to you. She is employed by Best Company in Chicago and is being transferred to our area. Best Company is doing everything possible to make her move as smooth as possible. Lisa is in town this weekend to purchase a home. At my direction, she has been fully approved through underwriting with Wells Fargo Bank, a national bank. That means she can close very quickly, close as quickly as any cash buyer can. She has plenty of cash to cover all of the cash needs in the offer that she's presenting to you. And she wants me to communicate to you that she loves your home and she sincerely wants to work together with you to find an agreement that is mutually satisfactory. I will share the details of her offer in three areas: the financials first, then the timing, and then the ways in which she has chosen to try to reduce your risk of dealing with her. First, on the financials, Lisa is putting down a 3% earnest deposit, which is 3 times the normal rate in this market. And she is making all of the earnest deposit fully non-refundable after any inspection issues or repair issues have been discussed and agreed to. You were asking $279,900 for your home. Lisa is happy to offer you $290,000. That is $10,000 over your asking price. Additionally, Lisa is willing to pay up to $5,000 in closing costs for you, which in essence makes her offer a $295,000 offer, but she has broken it into 2 pieces, the $290,000 purchase price and the $5,000 in closing costs, in order to reduce your risk, which I will cover shortly. In terms of timing, we know you want to close by the end of the month. Lisa can close on the 29th, which gives us at least 1 day of leeway should anything come up at the last minute. In the purchase contract, the buyer, Lisa, is given 10 days to conduct all of her inspections. She is going to cut that in half down to 5 days so that you can feel even more confident about being able to close by the end of the month. In terms of the other way she's going to reduce your risk, number one, she is doing a very clean offer. She's not asking you to pay any of her costs on her side of the table. She is also not including any personal property in her offer so as not to complicate the purchase contract. If there are any items that you wish not to take with you, she is willing to consider those off on the side in a separate transaction. She also wants to offer you flexibility, and she will do that this way. She's going to offer you the option to stay in your home up to 7 days after closing. This is being done so that you don't have to hurry and worry about getting all packed up by the last day of the month to move. And you can do that somewhat more leisurely. And the lease agreement is attached to the purchase contract, and the lease payment is $1 per day. Lisa is also offering you $5,000 of appraisal gap protection. What that means is, as long as your home appraises at $285,000 or higher, you are guaranteed to get $290,000 with Lisa. And as I mentioned, the reason she's separating the purchase price and the closing costs is it further reduces the risk of the appraisal being an issue. Lisa is putting down a 3% earnest deposit and making it fully non-refundable. She's offering you $10,000 over your list price, $290,000. She's offering to pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs, offering $5,000 in appraisal gap protection, and she's giving you the flexibility to stay in your house for up to 1 week after closing. I would also like you to know that I am a full-time agent. I have been in the industry for 15 years. I have a full-time transaction coordinator who will manage the details once the contract is signed to get to closing on time. And I have colleagues who back me up. So we can virtually guarantee you that nothing will fall through the cracks on our side of the table to jeopardize your closing date. In closing, I'd like to emphasize that Lisa has sincerely put together the best offer and most creative offer she can to reduce the risk on your side of the table and give you the maximum value that she can offer. She is on short timing on her trip, so I'll be taking her out to see other homes, and we respectfully request that you respond to her offer no later than 12 noon tomorrow. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation of Lisa's offer. We look very forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions at all or you want Lisa to address any other areas, please do feel free to call us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.